All right. Now you're gonna go and date a Grunkle stand, Billy.
Alrighty.
Now you gotta figure out which Grunkle stand. All right.
That's right.
I'll hit start for you. Majority of the stuff is you have to read it out loud because it is a dating simulator. Sometimes they'll have it to where they'll read it, but it's mostly you just, kind of like Dream Daddy will giggle or go, haha, or oh.
This kind of looks like a train wreck, and I'm very happy to be aboard
It's not a train wreck! I swear it is not a train wreck. Okay? Alright, ready?
Yup.
Okay, here you go. You want the mouse, or are you just gonna hit the keypad?
Hit the keypad.
Okay. I'll turn off the mouse for now then. Here you go.
Ah, good old road trips, full of promise and ripe with potential for adventure. Soul-searching and incredible scenery. What key do I hit?
Spacebar.
Or at least that's what you thought before the novelty wore thin. As of now, your legs are cramping up, you've exhausted your travel playlist 2 times over, and your stomach is begging for something to eat. On top of all that, you're pretty sure you're lost. Driving through Oregon paints a picture of trees, and more trees, especially on the endless winding roads that you're taking up north. All that breaks the pattern is a sign that zips past with the words that you're just able to make out: Gravity Falls. The road continues on. Giant redwoods looming on both sides. You find yourself anticipating something, because as you drive on, you can feel it. Something strange is bound to happen here. Something weird. And that's when it happens. Your car picks up speed. The change came out of nowhere, and you quickly put your foot on the brakes. Before finally, the car seems to be driving on its own without trying to stay calm despite the panic welling in your chest. You pull the emergency brake, only to find out the car resists and keeps moving forward, like something is pulling it. The car begins to rattle, the wheels screech against the crunchy road, and you're screaming until crash.
Oh, wait, hold on. We have a lot of feedback. There we go.
Alrighty.
Hold on. Stop trying to click things. I need to click back on the game for you. There. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure the music is actually coming through.
Smoke.
It's delayed. Straight, that's fine.
Okay.
No, there's still no music. Interesting.
Fumble out the door and manage to undo the lock just before the door is wrenched outward from your grasp. Something lands on your shoulder. A hand. Are you alright? A man stands at your open car door. His hands are on your shoulder, leaves to tilt your head up, and he pulls a flashlight from his coat, shining it in your eyes. 2 blinks, and he lets go your chin go. His eyes dart over the rest of you, looking for injuries. Still stunned, all you do is watch. What's your name? Here's where we can...
You type your name, or else your name's gonna be real person. Hello. So no, I type it poop every time.
Leviathan.
Yep, your name's gonna be Leviathan.
Alright.
Sorry. There you go. Now you choose your pronouns.
Okay. They, them, she, her, he, him.
Sorry, there's no toaster.
My personal pronouns are he, him. Leviathan. I'm Stanford Bonds, Ford for short. I would shake your hand, but you look shaken up enough as is. You seem fine, as far as I can tell, but you shouldn't head back out there anytime soon. Where on earth are you driving in such a hurry? You open your mouth to explain when a voice calls from inside the house. Poindexter, this better not be one of your experiments again. I've had this place rebuilt too many times to... Yes. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
No, just read it normal.
Okay. The owner of the voice walks out of the house and stops slack-jawed at the side of your car and the side of, you're guessing, his house.
Not over here, it's on the desk.
You must have hit your head earlier because you could swear you're seeing double. Sweet Moses, Lord, you've done it this time. What? This has nothing to do with me. I was testing my magnet gun and it must have pulled this victim of circumstance into the house. I suppose it's entirely my fault. I'm incredibly sorry. Reassure him, reassure yourself, cry.
You can cry.
Be nice. If you're gonna reassure him, yourself doesn't really... I don't know how someone reassures himself from...
My car!
That boo-fuckity who was probably a Chevy anyway. Unsure why you're reassuring this mystery man who just wrecked your car, you give an awkward shrug. Shit happens. It's alright. Sure. No, I must have done something wrong. A wire mix-up, perhaps? Or the potentiometer? They're talking about your other mistakes, Sixer. Oh, right. Hey, look, it's fine, alright? Sure, it's a dent in the hood from the shack signage and a crack in the windshield that looks like an ominous triangle, but I'm sure she'll still run. You try to start the car, it sputters, but ultimately nothing happens. You feel like crying. Oh. Well, let's call tow truck for this unfortunate soul here and forget. I'll take care of it. You're right. It's cheaper to tow it yourself, Sixer. Get that magnet gun out again. No, Stanley, I'm going to fix this. Ha! What? You fix this mess? I figured out an alien vehicles in my time. Nah, you're kidding me. It takes some sort of miracle worker to bring this baby back to life, and this miracle worker is on vacation. Stanley, a moment.
Oh, my car.
Ford and Stanley turn away, and you're left to your thoughts. Who would anticipate a car accident like this in the middle of a road trip? You can take care of the car, but how are you going to get home? They run buses out here, right? So you take a bus out here and then... Ford clears his throat, shifting a little awkwardly in place. Seems like they finished their talk. So there's a few options. My brother Stanley here could drive you out to town and find a place to stay for the night, or you could stay the night here. We have some maps and information you can look at in the gift shop, and in the morning we can help you with your car. What do you say? Just as you're about to answer, another high-pitched voice comes in from inside the house. Grunkle, Stan, picture this, a whole week of, oh my gosh! The girl that runs out of the house comes to a halt at the side of your car. Oh, great. Grunkle Ford? Why is it everyone automatically thinks I'm at fault? I relate.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Well, this time it is my fault. But I've invited Leviathan here to stay with us for the night. And if he'd like, I'm sure I can fix this. I just have to figure out how. Stanley sighs. I can take a look. And being on vacation's pretty boring, and the old Stanmobile hasn't needed a tune-up yet. So it wouldn't be too bad to work on something in the meantime. Thank you, Stanley. I'm sure I can put something together from the gadgets I have lying around if you need any specialized tools to help with the job. Let me introduce myself. I'm Mabel. You ask me anything, I pretty much know everything there is to know about this place. Wait, hold on. I haven't even said anything yet. I appreciate your offer to let me stay. And to repair your car. Yeah, it'll be good as new in my hands. I mean, look at my Stanmobile. She's been through the ringer who knows how many times, and she's still a beaut.
Car's been through some shit.
Ain't that the fuck?
Like several states and everything since he was 16 and it's still running.
Yeah.
And like it's an old baby. You need a better
No, I got one right here. A Pepsi. Yeah, alter universe is this.
Pepsi. You drink Pepsi when they don't have Coca-Cola anymore. It's the same thing.
He points out a red car parked in the distance way. You can't really see how beautiful it is at this distance, but he sounds really confident.
Gratuitous or suspicious?
I'm always gratuitous. Free repairs, free lodging. There's no better deal to be found, and if things don't work out, the town probably has some sort of auto repair shop you can head to instead. Well, I accept. Thanks for the help. And my apologies again. What an embarrassment. I must have made such an elementary mistake. As the pines lead you inside the house, Mabel leaves her number in your phone for you to call whenever, and you find out that Ford's twin goes by Stan. This part's the house, but just outside the door is the Mystery Shack. Hey, have you ever been to the Mystery Shack before? I wanted to, actually. I saw a bumper sticker while I was on the road and got curious. You're interrupted by a loud triumphant ha! Those bumper stickers were a good investment. And Sixer says they're too plain and graphically simplistic, and don't even have the address on them. Stanley, how is anyone supposed to find the place to attract customers? Sixer. Yeah. Well, they're graphically simplistic. I don't even know how he found the place. Let alone thought the Mystery Shack was compelling. I kind of liked it. See? He kind of liked it. Hey, I like you, Leviathan. How about I give you a tour sometime tomorrow? Regular price. Tomorrow? Then I'll have to squeeze all my get-to-know you questions in today. Leviathan, tell me.
Capybara? Yes or no?
Capybara? Yes or no? The fuck? At that moment, a boy passes in the hallway at the far doorway and Ford calls out to him.
You don't know what a capybara is? It's that big rodent in Australia that loves to take photos of people.
Oh, that makes sense. It's involved in Australia. Yeah, I understand that. Dipper, my boy. I'm surprised I didn't see you run out the scene of crime.
Yeah, you're a crime.
Crime? What crime? I have an out. I swear. Oh, you have someone with you. Hey, I'm not suspicious at all. All twins are suspicious. Did you see the car at the side of the shack, though? For a second, I thought the Minotaurs were back with a grudge. Oh, yes. About that. Dipper, meet Leviathan. I stranded his car here by accident. Yeah, he's gonna stay here for the time being. Sorry, stranded his car here? You crashed it!
Everyone knows more than
Yeah, the acid shack fell off and everything, and the windows are cracked. One window, the windshield. Leviathan was lucky to make it out alive. He's fine, no injuries, thankfully. The magnet gun's rather safe despite never having been tested in a formal setting.
I think you tested it, right?
Oh yeah, yeesh. Did you not, take safety precautions for anything? Actually, the irony of the situation is that I was trying to install a safety precaution. Hey, if you two are gonna do your nerd...
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did it on accident.
Oh no!
It's okay. We have a history button.
Oh?
Yeah, you can see in case that happens. See?
Okay, hey, if you two are gonna do your nerd talk, I'm gonna get Leviathan set up.
And then we can hit return.
Mabel, sweetie, why don't you show Leviathan around? Let him stay in, the storage room. That's still empty, right? I'll make it empty.
I'll make it empty.
Oh, God. The rest of the day consists of Mabel showing you the storage room, and you'll be staying in. Then the kitchen, the living room, the hallway, and the bathroom, and pretty much a comprehensive tour of the menageries of the regular house. You eventually found out that the family is even more extended than you knew. The decorative doll leaves make a lot more sense knowing a grandmother normally lives here, and her grandson, Zeus. Or is it Zeus? Whatever the name, you look forward to meeting him when he comes to work in the morning. When you go up to the attic, Mabel opens the door to reveal Dipper. No stuck in his book, but you catch him occasionally glancing up at you as he pretends to read. The next member of the family snorts up at you from Mabel's bed. A rotund pink pig, whom Mabel declares as her best friend and partner in crime.
Waddles.
The two are the perfect match, right down to the chubby cheeks and boopable noses.
No.
Do you like? Yeah.
You're pooping my nose.
And in the evening, though, you'd still seem disbelief from the state of your car, the family dinner, and after dinner TV marathon you've been invited to made it seem like a normal guest stay rather than a forced circumstance. Return to the storage room. Mabel has shown you earlier. You found an air mattress waiting for you and more pillows and sheets than a summer night warrants.
I wonder if, the mattress loses air and that's why they give you extra?
Maybe. You wake to the weak glare of sunlight streaming in through the small high window in the wall. You can't remember your room having this kind of feature, or any hotel or motel room for that matter. And then your stay comes crashing back to you. You glance up in time to see that you've slept into the afternoon. Experiencing the accident yesterday must have left you tired out.
You passed the fuck out.
Despite having been assured yesterday evening that you were free to do anything in the fridge, you still feel like you're imposing on the Pines family and try preparing as polite a guest breakfast as you can. You wash dishes in the sink before you leave. Just as you are about to exit the kitchen, you bump into Ford. Yes, from yesterday, of course. For a good solid moment, Ford regards you in an awkward silence. Ford clears his throat. I believe Stanley's taking a look at your car outside if you want to be there for it. You give a nod, make to leave for real this time when Ford speaks up again. And Leviathan, I'm sorry again for the accident. If I'd been smarter about, well, let's just say it's entirely my fault. You shouldn't worry about this at all. When it comes down to it, Stanley does have a knack for cars. I predict you'll be back on the road in a matter of weeks. Weeks. You can't keep the dismay off your face, and you can't really bring yourself to try to either. What am I to do with weeks? Ford, who had gone kind of uncomfortable and closed off when your face fell, recovers at the prospect of a question he can answer. Well, there's the town to tour, of course. And, Mystery Shack. But if you ask me, all the pales in comparison to... Hold on, do you hear that? Ford turns to the kitchen doorway to investigate. Sounds like... The sound comes again, this time you hear it as well. The squeal of a pig followed by a pair of quick footsteps run down the stairs. Waddles tumbles past the open kitchen doorway and Mabel comes into view soon after. A few sheets of paper clutched in her hand. Judas Priest.
Your part's gonna come over and choose which Grunkle you want to go after.
Ford steps quickly out of the kitchen. You follow to the doorway, getting there just in time to see the apparent tug of war between Mabel and her pig over a saliva-covered sheet of paper. The paper rips, and after nearly toppling backward from her efforts, Mabel recovers, snatching the scrap of ripped paper from Waddle's jaws, lifting both pieces up victoriously. Ha-ha! Mabel wins again! Now I just gotta find Grunkle Ford! Ford, who had run forward to hold out a hand to steady this energetic child when she had been in danger of toppling over, now finds a number of crumpled sheets of paper shoved into his hands. Mabel tugs urgently at his coat. Grunkle Ford, you have to help me! Ford kneels down to face Mabel with a serious, though concerned look. Slow down, Mabel. What's the matter? Tipper found a stack of pages with your old journals, and I walked in on Waddles ran up and started eating one, and he must have been chewing on it to warn me. Grunkle Ford, because look! Mabel takes the ripped halves of paper back from Ford's hand and joins them together, holding it up for Ford to see. I see. And you took this as a warning. Yes, it says here that it eats small dogs, and Waddles is a small pig, but he sort of looks like a dog from far away, and Waddles must have feared for his life. Waddles seems to... Sorry.
It's okay, you can look at the history button.
Yeah.
There.
Waddles seems to second this notion with a snort, or not, as it seems the pig is lungingly adorable for a short distance away in the hallway. You can't imagine what the dangerous predator could be. Some kind of wolf, something bigger? You're certainly not so keen on staying anymore. Remember the pterodactyl I told you about? Waddles was so scared that time. I can't let him leave my side. I can't wait to see people fuck up that word.
The pterodactyl?
Yes. Moving on.
The pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. You suppose pigs are allowed in museums around here? How about I finish that repellent I never got around to completing? That'll keep Waddle safe from harm. Maple flops down on the floor in relief. Grunkle Ford, you're an actual lifesaver. Waddles has nothing to fear. Ford chuckles, lifting himself out of the kneel and standing back up. Alright, I'll go get my recipe. Ford turns to leave and you suddenly remember that you have nothing better to do for the weeks. You're going to be here. It wouldn't hurt to go get to know Ford. He seems to know what there is to do around town anyway, and you'll need that to not die of boredom in the first week. Or more pressingly, you could go check on your car and see if Stan's made of it so far. Not exactly eager to face seeing your car on the side of the house again, though.
This is where you get to choose. Are you gonna go the Ford route, or you're gonna go the Grunkle Stan route? This is like the turning point for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Decisions, fucking decisions.
It just all depends on which one you want to go for. Do you want to go for Grunkle Stan or Grunkle Ford?
Oh boy.
Stan Levi's or Stan Ford cuts? You're able to do both routes if you want. We can actually save this as a save point. Yeah, watch. I'll just do it over my save. Because I was bored. And leave me the fuck alone. Don't judge me. I don't give a fuck. Alright, so you can choose one path first, and then you can go back to that save point, and then you can choose the other path without anything being changed.
Okay. So, let's see. Fuck it. Let's go, let's get to know Ford. Ford, wait. Need a hand with that recipe? I can handle it myself. Are you sure you can't use a hand? Ford looks away and then you follow his advised line of sight to Mabel, who's just mouthed something that you couldn't catch. When she catches you looking her way, Mabel gives a 100-watt smile, the picture of innocence. Ford rubs the back of his neck. Yes, I suppose I can accept some help. With that assured that Ford is on the task, you spot Mabel rolling away with Waddles into the living room. Okay. Understood.
Is that bit better for you?
Before we get started, I suppose I should give you an introduction.
To what?
Leviathan, tell me, do you believe in the supernatural?
Do you? Oh, wow. That's not really an answer, but I'll accept that. All right, let's keep going.
Yep. Yeah, I do.
You have to answer.
Oh, yes. Excellent.
Why did you do it right when I'm about to get a drink?
Yes, perfect timing. Well, you're about to come face to face with the unexplainable yourself. You see, Gravity Falls isn't some quite unassuming backwater town. Much more lurks below its surface. Ford pockets crumpled journal papers and gestures for you to join him as he walks. You do, and follow him through the living room and go into the gift shop. For example, you must have heard Mabel mention a pterodactyl. Most people would say nonsense in the living world today, but I say... No, most people would say none exist in the living world today, but I say not if you know where to look.
Peanut brittle. It was an episode.
Okay. Ford reaches under the cashier counter and retrieves a packet of vintage-looking gum, inspecting it for a moment before slipping it into his pockets. He looks around and thought, Hold on to my explanation for a moment. I need to retrieve some more supplies. Ford ushers you out of the gift shop entrance so that you find yourself on the outside of the shack, then shuts the door behind you. Okay. Respect the man's privacy. He's clearly got business in that gift shop.
Or try to peer through the window.
I'm really not a curious person.
Then choose a letter.
You, correctly and politely, just stand out here until Ford returns. Yeah, it's his fucking store. You made me scan the sky for a pterodactyl while you wait. Not too long later, the door opens behind you and Ford joins you on the outside, looking no different than before. He must have sorted whatever supplies he went to retrieve in his coat. But the trench coat falls too naturally on his figure for him to be hiding much. Where were we? Ah, yes. Ford pulls a pen and pad paper from his coat, walking as he rates. Just as you're about to head out, he stops and smacks his hand on his face. Oh, shoot. 1 second. Ford hurries back to the house, realizing he forgot one important component to his adventure. A butterfly net. Before you get a chance to ask, he strides out ahead of you, obviously in no mind to tell you what it's quite for yet.
You good?
Yeah. The pair of you walk past the shack and down the well-worn path to the trees surrounding the house, sunlight peeking between the pines. He double-checks whatever he scribbled into the paper and tucks it in the back of one of his coat's seemingly infinite pockets. He stops and turns to face you with a definitive nod. My recipe for repellent called for a sprig of lavender, 2 thin slices of ginseng, a drop of bat blood, a chunk of amber, and 3.5 millimeters of ink.
That's a sprig.
Okay. He pauses, staring down at the path in thought. Obviously, I already have those components at hand, all except for the one last ingredient, a single moth's wing. from Mothman itself. I'm sorry, I had the song from His Infernal Majesty of ripping the wings off a butterfly playing in my head as soon as I read that.
I went to Big Bang Theory and I ate a butterfly.
Oh god.
I was so hungry.
Armadillo crawled in and spooned me.
Or Skyrim, look, I can catch a butterfly. And there's just like butterfly wings added to inventory, and then like that god awful. I didn't mean to do that.
You can't help it. You cast. Ford glances at you and you think to see a hint of a smile before he turns back to the bathroom and continues along. Wind ruffling through his hair, of course. You see, Mothman is the very creature on that page that Waddle seems to fear. Using a piece of itself should ward it away, or at least lead it to believe that Waddles isn't for eating. I would have already completed the repellent years ago if I had managed to collect that wing. Was it too difficult? Oh, I just never got around to it. Besides, Mothman used to come bat at this lamp I had lit out in the backyard. It seemed like such an innocent hobby that I never had the heart to chase it off. But this brings Mabel and her pig a peace of mind when the time comes to finish this.
Can you imagine like this big huge Mothman and one little tiny lamp of him just like headbutting it repetitively?
Yes. Huh.
You good for it?
Sunlight filters through the trees, causing
Wait in.
dappled shadows across Ford's coat as he leans in front of you.
What are you doing?
Okay. Sunlight fills. Oh yeah, I already said that. Okay, break the silence. How much further are we walking? How do you know so much about this stuff? Wait for him to speak.
I'm not helping you.
I know. Let's see. I'll ask, how do you know so much about this stuff? Let's get to know this gray.
Get to know your Grunkle.
Get to know the Grunkle. His name's Ford because he's built tough. Here we go. I study anomalies, anything unusual, strange, or just plain weird. I began my research in this town because it was and remains a hotbed of paranormal activity. I made this exact trip years ago, though at the time I had no idea where I was going. It was just dumb luck that I managed to tail the Mothman back to its cave from my backyard. Navigating the forest by moonlight is poetic, but not advisable. I made plenty of other discoveries as well, from fairies to gnomes to amalgams of creatures who were never meant to cross to. Oh wait! Ford reaches in his pocket and pulls out the slightly crumpled pages Mabel had pushed in his hand earlier, smoothing them out and shuffling through them. Take a look at these. They're more definitive proof than just my word. You accept the pages from him and find that they're scanned pages from some sort of journal. Just as you've heard Mabel say, fluid cursive tells of Mothman, beard cubs, scamp fires, and more. Ford gestures to them and explains. I detailed my discoveries in the series of research journals, the remaining pages at least. I wonder where Stanley was keeping these. You drew these? Were any of these creatures ever dangerous? You must have gotten into some pretty crazy stuff back then. Walk in silence. There we go. You drew this. Yes, of course. Who else? That's so photorealistic. I love your line work. These ink washes look so masterfully executed, given the ambiguous nod of acknowledgement. I've seen better. Oh man, go from just chalking it up, to.
It's up to you if you want to what you want to say. This is your dating adventure with him.
I believe one should never be close. So let's. They're so photorealistic. realistic. I love your line work. Give an ambiguous nod of acknowledgement. Yep. I detailed my discoveries in a series of research journals. Remaining pages list one way. Worrying these creatures are dangerous. You've gotten into some pretty crazy stuff back then. Walk in silence. There we go. That's one way to put it. Only took 6 years for me to get it over my head. He takes a silent moment to look away from your gaze, seemingly in bittersweet remembrance. Where any of these creatures are dangerous, walk in silence. You know what?
Do you want to keep talking or walk in silence with him?
Suddenly Ford puts an arm out, caution slowing his pace. You nearly managed not to collide with him and take a quick glance around to see nothing. Look, there. You see what looks like a bundled up plaid shirt moving along the forest floor. Wait, is that a beaver's tail?
Is that Manly Dan?
It looks like a platypus. Ah, what are you doing all the way out here? Don't you mean a platypus? Ford shakes his head with a grin. I meant what I said. It's a platypus. Platypus. Maybe I'm saying the word wrong. A platypus.
Get it because plaid?
Yeah, I get it.
It's a pun.
It is a pun. It is a pun indeed. Ford moves into a crouch, but stays at a respectable distance. Following the small creature, you watch him and after a moment mimic his actions. Ford giving the creature a bright smile. It's the first of its kind that you've seen since leaving Mabel at the shack. You're a cute one, aren't you? And in one of my favorite patterns too. Ford motions for you to move forward a little more in the distance he's maintaining. If I were to rate the oddities that live in this forest on a scale of at least two most annoying. They have done nothing wrong, and I appreciate them for it. As the two of you watch in quiet appreciation, the platypus ambles into the underbrush and vanishes from you. What a cute little guy. So you continue deeper in the forest. The foliage seems denser now, and you look through the treetops for a glimpse of the sun, which has by now dropped low in the sky. It had already been getting late when you left, but you hadn't thought Mothman would be this far out. Almost as though he'd read your mind, Ford answers for you. Mothman is rather reclusive, and as such lives deeper within the forest than bolder creatures like the gnomes. You alright?
Huh?
That is, are you tired at all? I should have asked sooner. It's been a long time since I've traveled with anyone new. Stanley tends to speak his mind without my asking. I'm fine, really.
I'm fine. Really, I'm fine.
The hell?
So is it? I'm tired. That was a long walk. I'm worried I'm getting stuck out here tonight. I'm fine. Really.
Fine, really. I'm glad to hear it. Still, we seem to have some time until sunset. Let's wait here in the meantime. Mentioned traveling Stan is just waiting for fun. Why wait until sunset? You'll see. Great.
I don't want to wait.
The moment the sun touches the horizon through the gaps in the treetops, Ford gestures for you to continue. You had noticed, but you had been resting within a short distance of a small clearing that holds a cylindrical stone marker. Stone marker bears intricate swirls carved into the surface. Ford reaches into his coat and produces the packet of gum from earlier, opening it and dumping the pieces out into his palm. Gum? Thanks. Unsure why you came all the way out here to unwrap some gum at sunset, you accept the stick of gum because a crazy man has just led you in the middle of the fucking woods after he's wrecked your fucking car. You're stuck.
There for a week.
You hear banjos, you just start fucking running. You gotta burn them out.
But what if he's the one playing the banjo?
I mean, at this point in time, he's already talking about strange creatures and shit. You followed him so deep in the woods that if you scream, no one's gonna fucking hear you. So, why not be compliant? That fucking look on his face. The
I don't know, you're the one who's waiting for you to take the gum.
The glasses aren't the only thing cracked, is all I'm saying. Ford puts the remaining gum in his coat breast pocket. He unwraps the now empty gum package, reveal that it was hiding a small piece of parchment. Folded up to act like lining, he soothes it out against the stone, holding it under the deep orange-red light of the sunset. You step close to look over Ford's shoulder. The parchment holds a detailed drawing of the swirls carved into the stone, documenting every crack on the surface. As you watch, a golden cursive unfolds itself across the page, seemingly fueled by the sunset's warm light. Ford reads the words as they appear. Such a place the Mothman doth rest, but please do not disturb his nest. If kindness be something thou beareth, Ford lifts up the parchment a little higher to prevent his shadow from skewing the rest of the line. Follow thy nature and turn left. I think we turn left. I think we'll turn right. I think you should answer this one.
So we should turn left? Right? Or...
Follow thy nature and turn left. If kindness be something thou beareth. So I'm trying to bear kindness.
Yeah, turn left.
Yeah, go left. To the left. All your shit in the box.
No, you can't sing that here.
I wasn't singing, I was just quoting.
I know, but still, it's copyrighted music and I can get my account banned.
Mm-hmm.
Completely deleted, nothing coming back ever again.
I think so, Leviathan. We press onward. Left leads you to a dimly lit cave, which Ford says he remembers well. Except the last time he was here, it was pitch black since he arrived in the middle of the night. From its depths, you hear the faint sound of dripping water, echoing off the cave's shadow-shrouded walls. You slow as your eyes attempt to adjust to the low light.
Keep scooting away or shoving into me.
Okay. Okay.
Better?
Ford pauses in front of you, reaching into his coat for something. Hold on, I have a flashlight in here somewhere. This cave has never received much natural light, you see. And he rummages further. You see a couple dice, the pad of paper from earlier, and a quill. He has some custom pocket work going on in there too. And you bet it's one of his coat's inner pockets has a pin protector in it. There we are, at last. Allow me to... Darn, out of batteries. Wait, I think I have one. You pull out your phone and turn on its flashlight. The light is small, but it does its job. Huh, you saved our hides there, Leviathan. I was about to pull out a matchbook. With your light guiding the way, you and Ford move further into the cave, which yawns wide around you, and it is until the sliver of natural light from the entrance disappears that Ford speaks again. It's been years since I've been here, decades even at this point, but I'll always remember the eye bats as one of my first discoveries when I arrived at Gravity Falls. You just went to a fucking lonesome ass cave and darkness with this crazy fuck.
Yeah. You got nothing else to do for weeks?
Just because you're going to be kept there for weeks, whether you fucking like it or not now. How did you find them in the first place? Yeah, that's my conversation. Once I get into my house, you see, I was making breakfast one morning and one managed to find my cereal box. When I poured the cereal into a bowl, it came fluttering out, agitated, like it belonged there. The nerve. It still sounds so indignant even years later that you laugh.
The nerve! It was in my cereal box.
I wanted to contain it for further study, but unfortunately managed to get away. As I thought about it afterwards, its pupil had constricted against light, unfamiliar to the bright light in the kitchen, so either it's nocturnal or it lives in the deepest, darkest cave near Gravity Falls. I found them easily after that. Did you manage to catch that one? Somewhat. I came running through this cave with a butterfly net and my wits. I brought a working flashlight that time. They all hid in the dark corners. Once I turned the flashlight off, they flocked to me. I caught 18 of them that day, but it reminded me of the stealth uses of. The rapid sounding clicking claws against stone startles you. A shiver running up your spine. The dark. You turn off your light, Ford taps your shoulder and gestures for you to keep moving forward. Eventually, a narrow passage widens into a large room. The darkness shrouds the source of the dripping water from view, but as your eyes adjust, you squint to see a strange winged shadow. A shadow with eyes that glow red in near darkness like rubies. Your breath catches in your throat as the realization comes over you.
Mothman!
Ford is apparently fairly close to you in the room. You find when he speaks a few inches from your shoulder, you catch the shadow of his arms swing out. His arms swing out in a wide arc, like he's introducing you to Leviathan. I'd like for you to meet the Mothman. He whispers, but even in the dark, you see him grinning excitedly at you. Ford looks between you and the Mothman, apparently hoping for a dramatic reaction. Your speechlessness seems to satisfy him. Don't worry, it hasn't noticed us yet.
Now, listen.
See, I told you he talks sometimes, but not all the time.
Well, that freaked me out.
I told you Ford talks sometimes.
You make contact with Mothman, and he pulls out the butterfly net in a large lidded jar. Now, where that one came from within his coat of mysteries has lost you.
It's like the TARDIS.
Right? You will capture one of the 100 moths that comprise it. Wait, I get to touch Mothman? The Mothman? You're heading in with a butterfly net? Seriously? Isn't this a little dangerous?
Which one are you gonna pick?
Wait, I get to touch the Mothman? Yes, and it turns into 100 black witch moths. It's like experiencing a swarm of locusts, surprising when you're not expecting it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too late to run back now, shit. Remember, even just a light touch is enough. You steel yourself waiting for Ford's signal. He waves his hand to coax you forward, and then it's up for you to decide how to, well, make contact. Run around back to its blind spot, run straight for it, approach with stealth. Come, let us pussyfoot. Tiptoe towards the Mothman, remembering Ford's comment on the dark and trying to channel your inner stealth skills. Of course, that's the moment your phone decides to start blasting Taking Over Midnight by Sandra. And you're confused before remembering that Mabel added her number to your contacts and you must have made that her customer ringtone. You done goofed. Mothman turns at the noise and screeches, but before you can barrel into it, the creature explodes into 100 moths, fluttering around you, getting stuck in your shirt and skittering around your face, surrounding you in a mothy hell.
Don't open your mouth.
Your task accomplished, Ford rushes into the large swarm of moths, waving the butterfly net. With a few unsuccessful swipes, he tries swatting the more aggressive ones away, but there are too many. Use the phone's light to attract them towards you and run and away from Ford. Run up to Ford and start swatting at those monsters with your bare hands. What the fuck? Blind them! I was about to sing the song and then you're just
No, please don't.
Yeah, no. You grab your phone and quickly switch the light on, running on Ford's side and holding it up to high. When you attempt to call them over, despite knowing that they don't respond to sound. Before long, they all crowd around the bell, and the side of light flickering and reflecting off so many of the small wings would be somewhat captivating if you hadn't just been in the midst of them. Ford puts the butterfly net back away in the jar in hand, carefully scoops one of the blossom. Well, that could have gone better, but we've succeeded nonetheless. As Ford pockets the jar, you turn off the light. With no light and no threat to focus in on, the cloud disperses. That was amazing. Ford laughs, brushing dust and dirt off his trench coat because he is mothy. You could say that, or completed repellent is within sight. Let's head back. Ford turns to leave the cave. He looks calm and content. You, on the other hand, are buzzing with energy under the adrenaline rush. Should you go for a high five? Yeah. You raise your hand and universally understood an offered high five. Ford pauses, then grins, high-fiving you. Rather 6.
Yeah, he has an extra digit.
With you and Ford finally reach the cave entrance, you find the forest that you've left in the dying light is now awash with a silvery glow. The gap between the leaves overhead provides a view of the night sky, along with a long string of stars. A few more steps and the Milky Way comes into view, looking as if a tear across the fabric of sky. Ford notices you looking. Say something? The pterodactyl doesn't usually come out this late, but being a prehistoric creature, its behavior is rather unpredictable. Just like your conversation. I've never seen the Milky Way in person before. I haven't seen the Milky Way in a while. There we go. I've had a couple of chances this summer that look stunning over a calm ocean at night. It's incredible here. You both stare up at the sky in a comfortable silence for a few more moments. The quiet of the forest settles in along with the distant sound of flowing water, and you find yourself surprisingly glad that Ford had accidentally pulled you here. If this is one of those moments you get to experience, right? Happy accidents. Just like...
No, those aren't happy accidents.
Just like
They're
fucking
finding so many dead bodies in
Bob Ross, happy little accidents, you know?
No.
Out of the corner of your eye, you swear you see Ford looking at you instead of up. But when you tilt your head back down, his attention is elsewhere. I don't know why I did that voice. Eventually, the two of you come into a wordless mutual agreement to continue on, and you're walking again. And you'll have to show me the other creatures that live here sometime. I was about to fucking comment on a TikTok.
What?
Yeah. The Into the Thick of It, but I was going to do the entire song.
No.
Yeah, I know. You're glad you said so when you look over and find that Ford looks pleasantly surprised to hear it. His chest puffs up with pride.
Are you getting tired?
No.
You're hitting my computer harder and harder.
Am I? I'm sorry. I am. I'm now noticing how hard.
Yeah.
It is. Okay. Of course, maybe we'll even get to spot the hide behind or tag along with Dipper when he next visits the Malta Bear.
Uh-huh. It's my favorite multiple heads.
The what? You just explained. Ford taps his temple, grinning. You'll have to wait until I show you to find out.
Why are you doing that voice? Why are you doing the Batman voice?
I'm holding you to that.
No.
It's just as uncomfortable as when I talk. We have some time left before we get back, if you're up for another walk. You must make a face because Ford looks back to you and laughs. We're not far, I promise. I just thought I might answer a few of your questions if you have any. Forget the questions. Actually, I have questions.
About Ford?
Must stay in great shape if you do this all day. Actually, this sort of thing isn't part of my exercise regimen. Ford turns left to the stone marker towards the sound of the river, and sure enough, after a while it comes into view. The moonlight illuminates the water as you walk along it. After flowing, and god damn it, had another fucking song enter my head.
No.
It's from the 90s.
No.
It's from the band TLC.
No.
Just saying. After following the river for a few minutes, the shoreline expands into a small round lake in the center of a clearing. Overhanging its large flat rock, the kind that can be used as a less than effective diving board in times of emergency. The emergency being that one just had to jump into the lake. However, neither you yourself nor Ford really look in the direction of the diving board. It leads you towards the edge of the lake where a relatively flat boulder could substitute for a bench, and the two of you take a seat.
Why do you sound so winded?
I don't know. Break the silence. Ask about the other creatures in Gravity Falls.
I like how you keep scooting closer to the computer.
Sorry.
Instead of, you can pull the computer closer to you. Like, there's still room back here for you to sit back and be like.
Understood.
What?
Oh, it's up there.
You finished it. There's all the box next to you. Are you gonna make it? You gonna make it?
Oh, nope.
Yep, overshot! Second night. Time today. We missed the trash can. Silly.
Ask about the other creatures in Gravity Falls. Ask about his family. Ask about the Mystery Shack.
Ask about staying.
Ask Floyd about the stars. Wait for him.
Why are you making it weird?
I don't know. Let's see. You know what? Let's wait for him. No. Wait, a change.
Okay.
Ask about the other creatures in Gravity Falls. We gotta find this guy interesting.
You're the one that picked him.
You said to wait. But can I at least give a preview of what I'm getting into? Not content to leave them to discover yourself, Well, has anyone ever told you about the Gobblewonker? Oh, I couldn't say that one with a straight face. I'm pretty sure he said that with a less than straight voice. Gobblewonker.
Gobblewonker.
Gobblewonker. Hello, Governor.
Hi, Brett.
Hi. You snort, taken aback by the name, but compose yourself and Ford simply raises an eyebrow. Say funny shit if you don't want me there. Don't think so, no. Not even in the tourist guide? Does the office even read my letters?
No, we don't.
Ford mutters to himself something about updating the tourist guide to warn against local dangers. He sighs with a frustration that's reserved for bureaucracy, but soon lightens up at the prospect of getting to introduce you to another strange creature.
Dad's dating Grunkle.
Yep. Well, the Gobblewonker is a large sea creature that lives in this very lake. One could say it's our version of the
Loch Ness Monster. No, not Hooey. This was in Gravity Falls.
Same universe, though.
Yeah.
My old research assistant apparently saw it at some point. He said it was large, gray, and scaly, long neck like a giraffe.
You know who his old research assistant was, right?
Yeah. Fucking. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm gonna scream out the wrong name. God damn it. I was gonna say, damn you, Dinkelberg, but no, it's not Timmy Turner.
That's a completely different show on a different network.
Fuck. Ferguson? No.
No.
I know, he's crazy. He's bad.
The crazy old man with the hat that's
Old man Jenkins. No, I don't know. Fuck.
I know, it's like the old guy. I can't remember his name right now either. He's just like, ha-ha! You won't go play my banjo!
His raccoon wife.
Yeah, they're arguing right now. Leave them alone.
God. You wouldn't have any other odd sightings yet, have you? It's only been 24 hours, but my own first encounter with the strange occurred shortly after my arrival last fall. Not a perfect day, maybe.
Last night.
I saw Mabel sit stick kitten-shaped stickers all over face day, and that must count for something, right? Huh. I'll be sure to write that anomaly down once we get back to the shack. Why'd that taste like sushi?
If you hit wait for him, you can't ask any of the other questions.
Okay, let's ask about his family.
It's up to you if you want to.
No, I let's change topics. Let's wait for him.
We can ask you about staying, ask more about the stars, mystery shack.
Oh, I already know about the mystery shack. No, it's just Ford looks out across the lake. Leviathan, I have to admit, I didn't want to take you with me earlier today. I thought I'd be walking myself into an uncomfortable social situation.
Tell me you don't like me without telling me you don't like me.
Well, that's all a strange man. I've only better than met and crashed my car into a dark cave to catch a Mothman. So did you, to be honest. And you did well out there. Not many tourists can handle that kind of task that we just completed. That had to be potentially gone. This had the potential to have gone disastrously. I mean, a butterfly net against Mothman. Easily 3% success rate. Sometimes the more Ford speaks, the less reassured you feel until it's all that's left is the distant unease. You smiled, not anyway. You're still in the middle of fucking nowhere. The two of you sit in another moment of quiet, night air pleasantly chill around you until Ford again breaks it. We should head back now. I'm sure Mabel will want to hear we've been successful.
Mabel just wants the deeds.
You stand and give Ford a hand up from a makeshift bench. Ford takes the lead in, and soon you're no longer able to catch sight of the lake where you once glanced back. Ford gradually adjusts his pace to yours, walking side by side with you in compassionable silence all the way back to the shack.
This is companionable. You can be compassionate. Almost there.
Companionable silence. Almost there. You recognize from the incredibly flashy signs touting phrases like Mystery Shack, This Way, and Sasquatch to your left.
Yep, it's Sasquatch.
That you're extremely close to arriving back at the shack. As you and Ford leave the tree line, you see the bright lights shining on the porch. You make out the faint outline of the kids' shadows as they run through the house and emerge in the attic window. Mabel pushes it open, leaning out. Grunkle Ford! Finally! You guys took so long! I had time to cover waddles and macaroni!
You probably ate it.
Why would you do that? I have my reasons. Did you get the thing? Yes, and I'm coming inside so we can stop shouting. Leviathan, come along. We've got a pic to save. Ford strides into the shack, a man on a mission. You grin and follow, but not before taking one last look at the night sky.
I wonder if that's the lamp.
Oh god, it probably is. Yeah, maybe your stay won't be too bad after all. Back inside the shack, the grand conclusion to your expedition to the Mothman's cave is Spritzling, Mabel's pig with newly finished deterrent until the poor piglet reeks of lavender. Yep, you see Mabel dip her head up to bed looking sleepier than usual as a result. Something about lavender is just so soothing to the senses that you crash out fairly soon afterwards, face first onto your makeshift bed. God, I know the feeling.
There's your love meter with Grunkle.
Ooh, I'm gonna get that old D.
Call the caterers, I hear wedding bells.
And you're fucking hearing shit, kid. You're hallucinating, aren't you, in the middle of the fucking
Well,
woods?
see, that's the thing, though, with Ford, I think the most you do is get a kiss.
Okay.
Well, Stanley, you can get, like, a fucking, like, a heavy make-out session. And then a kiss goodbye.
Your tonsils being explored.
I wouldn't say that, but damn!
You wouldn't, but I did. Okay, I think this is a great chapter to stop on.
You only been playing for an hour!
I know, it's been an hour.
So?
If I don't last more than an hour on certain game sessions, fine, I'll go more.
That's fine. We can stop the save here.
Alright.
But you actually have to click the button to save this though. Okay.
I see.
Yeah, because the save's over here.
This is really fucking interesting.
I told you. Alright, this one's your save here. That's the going back point.
And yeah, I get that. Again, takes an interrogation.
Yeah, you went with Grunkle Ford somewhere.
Yep.
Alright, well, that'll be it for the stream for tonight then, I guess.
Yep. Thank you all for viewing.
No, it's for Flirty Fridays.
Oh yeah, thanks for joining us on Flirty Fridays.
Why did you do a radio host with
I don't know.
I don't know with you anymore.
Because I got fucking dids.
You fucking did.